Hey guys, welcome to another Homelab Series video today. In today's video, we will be showing you how to use Ansible Vault to encrypt a file and then use Ansible AWX to deploy the file out and decrypt it essentially. So this is kind of a specific use case that I've used before where, say for example, you need to deploy like a configuration file for whatever application you're running, but the problem is the file has secrets. Now, and by secrets I mean like passwords and you know, things that you don't want someone to just look in a code repository and be like, oh man, well, there's a plain text password right there in the code repository. That's always a bad sign, right? So what we're going to do is use Ansible Vault to encrypt the file and then put it in source control, so it's an encrypted file essentially, and then when AWX deploys the file out, it will decrypt it and put it into the server without any issues. So this video is also sponsored by me, myself, and I. So if you enjoy my content, want to sponsor me, or send me some free swag or hardware, let me know. My email is in the description below. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so we got our repo. So what we'll do here is actually go to our code server. So we have our repo already, you know, cloned down. What we'll do is actually go into roles, let's spell it right, and then we will actually create another role. So Ansible Galaxy init, and then we'll call it like system underscore configuration. So now we have another role here, system configuration, and we'll have all these the base template again. So what we'll do here is actually we'll create a file in here, and we will call it, you know, config.txt, right? And say for example this config has a password, so like password, right? In here, and it's referenced with the application. So obviously you don't want to commit this file with the password in it to be deployed out to the server. So what we'll actually do here is we'll go to system configuration and then files, and we'll use the Ansible Vault command. So you can do Ansible -vault and then encrypt and then the file name config.txt. So now it'll ask you for what password you want to set it. So we'll just say like password 123 in this case for all intents and purposes. And now you can see that the file changed with this, and it's Ansible Vault hashed, which is essentially what you'll commit, and people, unless they know the password, you can't get to it. You can also, say for example, you need to update this file, you can actually do Ansible Vault decrypt, and then the file, and then you type in the password that it was encrypted with, and it will decrypt, so then you can decrypt it, update it, and then re-encrypt it again, right? So, it's not something that, you know, you do once and then you forget. You can decrypt and update again if needed. So we'll re-encrypt it with password 123. And then what we'll do here is also include a task that will essentially copy this file out to the server. So, you know, copy configuration file. We'll do copy source, and then we'll name it config.txt because that's what the file's name is. So with the copy command, if you're using it in roles, essentially what will happen is it will look for files in the same directory as the template. Then it will look for any files that are in the files directory in here. So essentially, if you put any files in here, it will read this file and look for the name. So you don't have to do like relative or absolute path to figure this out. You can just reference it like this, which is super nice. And then we'll set the destination to be like root config.txt, and we'll just slap it in the root directory, right? Okay, so now that we have that, we want to go to our setup new server playbook, and we'll need to add this role here so that it would run after system update. So we'll do system configuration and save that. So now we can commit this. So git add dot git commit m for message, add configuration files, and then get push. All right, so now that we've committed this, we should be able to see it in our playbook. We should see that it's actually going to run here to update. So we got add configuration files, everything updated. It'll update the repo, the project in AWX. So what we'll do here is now run the template. So this won't work because it's encrypted, but I want to show you the error if you actually were to run it in here. If you were to run it with the playbook, with the encrypted file, it'll actually error out and tell you, hey, we don't have a decryption password or whatnot to be able to decrypt this file, and that step will fail. So we'll let this run, but what we need to do is actually go to credentials and go add here, and we'll call this like Vault Pass, right? It doesn't. You can name it whatever you want, but we add a credential called Vault Pass, and then we want Vault, and then we will type in the Vault password here. So password 123. And we'll save that. So now that we've created the credential for our Vault Pass, we can go to our template and go here and we can hit edit. And from here, we can add another credential and we can actually go up here, Vault, and then select our Vault Pass credentials. So you can actually use multiple credentials here. The only problem is you can't use like multiple of the same credentials because say for example, like you use a machine credential and you have two machine credentials, so that doesn't work because it doesn't know which machine to use, right? But in this case, because there are different types of credentials, you can do this. So we'll save that, and we can go back to our other job. So the other job will have failed, and you can see a vault password or secret must be specified to decrypt this file. So it essentially failed on that step because it couldn't decrypt. But now that we've added it to our template for credentials right here, we should be able to launch it again, and it should actually be able to read and take. So give it a few seconds here, and it will run. It should be able to read the Vault Pass, so you can see it prompts for Vault Pass. This should be okay, and then it should essentially deploy out. So you can see that it changed, so that means it deployed this file out, and now we can log into our Nextcloud instance. And see in our root directory there is a config.txt, and we cat it. It says password. So that is how you can encrypt a password in your source control and have it decrypt on the deployment when AWX deploys out to the server. So there you go, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.